Good morning. You're listening to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Jeff Macco, a principal with Macco's Flooring and Hadinger's Flooring. Jeff, how you doing?
Great, Kemp. How about yourself?
I'm good. It was good to be with you at the NFA. I guess it was about 3 weeks ago in Savannah, and we were able to catch up in several areas. I'd like to just remind our listeners that your business is based in Wisconsin. You also have a very nice operation down on the west coast of Florida, and the business is really good, isn't it?
I think we're doing really well. Like most of us, we lost a couple months in spring. We bounced back pretty decent from that. I think the industry that we're in, which is things for the home, with folks spending a lot more time at home, that's helped us. So I think we bounced back. We'll finish with a relatively decent year, I think.
Yeah, actually, you're in the top 50 in our ranking of retailers. And I think you were telling me that if you segment your business and you just talk retail versus retail, your business is actually in that segment probably going to do better in 20 than 19, right?
Yeah, I think we'll do okay retail-wise.
Yeah, okay.
New construction's crazy, I can tell you that. That's just really nuts.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about, and I've been talking to some of the leaders down here in the Dalton area. I'm hearing that there's a little bit of a higher demand for PET right now than there is for nylon, and I was curious if that's what you're seeing up where you are.
Well, no, and it's absolutely not what we're seeing. A comment on that, I think a lot of it has to do with the quality of the retail salesperson that folks are dealing with. And I don't want to slight anybody, but I can tell you that a lot of the largest boxed stores would almost prefer that the client just sells themselves, that they can go to a display and not have to work with a sales rep. From our standpoint, our salespeople all understand the difference between polyesters and nylon. And I don't think you're going to get a lot of argument from anybody that the better quality nylons will outperform polyesters. Our staff understands that, and we have been able to convey that same message to our consumers. So for us, no, that is not the case. For us, we are nylon, with Stainmaster being number one and some of the other non-Stainmaster nylons a second. And for us, polyester is not on the list yet.
You know, the RSA, the Retail Sales Associates, they really do lead what happens, I think, when the consumer is working with a retailer. And I guess your RSAs are just more comfortable selling nylon. Why do you think that is?
You're 100% right, by the way. It's that retail salesperson that will win or lose that battle.
Yeah.
And I think primarily we really embraced the Stainmaster story years ago, and we follow the Stainmaster training. We retrain on a regular basis, very much on a regular basis. We do private sales, and we do this with their instruction. I think our folks have just been trained again and again and again to understand the difference between nylon and polyesters, and feel very comfortable conveying that to the consumer. Ultimately, the consumer gets to decide, but I think we win more of those battles than we lose.
Yeah. Well, I think part of what's driving these overall statistics, like you say, is kind of a shift this year toward higher sales in the do-it-yourself type of big box stores. It may be a short-lived shift in that direction. One thing I do need to point out is that the fiber type is one thing. Obviously, construction is another point, the gauge, the stitch, but nylon not only performs better from retention, but it also has better styling attributions, wouldn't you say?
Well, I think so. I think the finish of a nice, clean nylon carpet, again, in our opinion, we think it looks better, and I think it feels better than some of the polyester-type materials. Now, there are certain vendors that have gotten better with their polyesters. There's no doubt about it. They're better than what they were before, but I think the finish of a really nice, mid to higher end nylon looks better than a mid to higher end poly. And maybe that's one of the reasons that, we're doing better also, is that we try not to play in the, race to the bottom.
Yeah.
How cheap can we get it market? For us, there's never been value there. It's very hard to get an installation that performs well in the lowest price points, and we've just had a better success in the long run selling better quality goods.
Yeah, and actually I bet your RSAs are smart enough to say, listen, putting it in, the cost of installation is the same whether you put this in or this in, and this one's going to last longer and look better, so why not spend a little bit more up front, right?
Well, we've had that discussion. That's exactly part of our program where we talk about life cycle cost of materials and the fact that, a lot of these products now can be recycled, and we do that. We recycle a lot of our goods. But you're correct. When we tell folks if something's going to last twice as long, you're going to pay labor 2 times versus 1 time, it does make more sense. And, that's part of our sales presentation without question.
You said you had a Stainmaster sale recently, and you said there was one product in particular that did really well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we crushed it with a product from Dixie. Our names on it are Debut and Pure Elegance. I can't remember, but anyway, it's a new item for them. Stainmaster with Pet Protect.
Yeah.
And we bought inventory. It's been a good value for us, and consumers loved it. The look is great. The price point is super. I really think Dixie made a big statement with this particular product.
Yeah. You're also a big supporter of Phoenix's products line.
Oh, yeah, very much. We take 100% of what Phoenix makes and 100% of what Dixie makes, specifically in the Stainmaster category. Again, our customers that still resonates with us, and so both those two mills are important partners of ours.
Yeah. So when I talk to you, I know I'm talking to a huge piece of business up in Wisconsin, and then obviously a nice, handsome little piece of business down in Florida. But this whole nylon and PET equation is the same in both markets, right?
Well, it is for us. I can tell you that a lot of our competitors do sell an awful lot of polyester. It's just we don't, whether it's in Florida or Wisconsin.
Well, it's great to catch up with you. Thanks again for helping to explain some of this to our audience. Again, been talking to Jeff Macco, a principal with Macco's Flooring and Hadingers, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.